All right, everybody, we are back. We're back again, this time with Preston Martin. How are you, Preston?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing great. We're live on Changemakers 21, and I'm excited to have you on here. We received a nomination for you as a Changemaker, and I really hadn't heard of your organization. And when we did the pre-interview, I learned a little bit about you and your motivations for doing this. But could you share with our audience who don't know anything about you, who you are, your background, where you're from, and we'll kind of take it from there?
Yeah. Again, my name is Preston Martin. I'm originally from St. Louis, born and raised in the Normandy district. I am an architect by trade, architect and laboratory planner. And I'm actually located now in the Maryland DMV area. Um, Grew up again in St. Louis and ended up getting my education from Tuskegee University with a Bachelor of Architecture and a Master in Historic Preservation from the Savannah College of Art and Design.
Excellent. So you're doing something now, really, I think, unique, especially where men are concerned. So you were nominated as a Changemaker because you host a show. And am I saying that right? Is it a show is the right way to frame it up? Say it.
I would say a gathering. We'll say
a gathering where a lot of people come together and have an opportunity to just talk openly. Share a little bit about your concept and how it's progressed over time.
Yeah. So we have an organization called the Morning Sips, and what we do on every other weekend, every other Saturday, uh, we gather Black men together to have a conversation. So the premise behind it is that we are lacking in communication, and we want to create a safe space for particularly Black men to come together and talk. And it doesn't matter what we talk about. We're talking about sexuality. We're talking about discrimination. We're talking about finances. We're talking about investments. We're talking about so many different topics. But the whole premise is so that no one feels alone in their being. A little bit about that, I've gone through a time of depression, and I felt alone during that time. I didn't. I don't think anyone really feels like they have anybody to run to or to have a conversation with, or really to know how to put into words what they're feeling. And one thing's for sure, that person is hurting, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're hurting by themselves or feel like they have to hurt alone. And so we're here to support. And it's not just me. There's others. Nas Yancey and Shaquan Howard and Darius Williams were all leading the cafes, and it's not a panel discussion. It's not a preaching or teaching. It is literally a conversation, and we're starting to see amazing results from that. No matter if it's one person or 50 people on the call, we're starting to see great things from it.
Wow, that's really incredible. And I want to go in. Let me bring myself back on screen here. Nope, that's not. There I am. I wanted to go into what your motivation was for this. And I think you touched on it a little bit, where you had gone through these periods or situations where things had happened to you that inspired you to do this. And if there's more to add to that, please do. But what I want to talk about is what you and I discussed in the pre-interview, where you said a couple different people reached out to you, and this was a major impact on their life. Can you touch on that for a little bit?
Yeah, you never really understand how much a conversation will change a person's life. And somebody will say just giving a simple hello to someone may change that moment for them during the day. So for us, that's what a conversation is doing. And so what you're referencing is we had two guys that jumped on the call. And again, we just had a normal conversation like we typically do in our cafes. And after the call, these two guys, they basically told us that we kept them from, jumping off the deep end. Um, we're not out to say we're heroes or saving lives. But the mere fact that we were able to do that for at least one guy, let alone others, and these are just the people that told us, you know, I
Right.
think that that speaks volumes of what communication can do. And it's, again, not just amongst this small group, but just in general. We don't have to walk around with a frown on our face. We don't have to walk around feeling secluded. You know, this simple gesture to me speaks volumes. And you know, I think like I told you earlier, I got a little emotional about it, and it still chokes me up, just the mere fact that somebody would even think like that. But the fact that we were able to keep them from going, uh, I mean, that's everything to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So what did you, and I've done a lot of these interviews for this event, and you just you just caused me to think of a question that I have never asked. So I'm kind of excited to throw this at
Uh-oh.
you. But when you started this, what did you think was going to happen?
Not this. I'll be honest. I think, you know, going in, I thought that this was just going to be another, you know, opportunity to meet other people and just maybe even hang out with other folks. But nothing to the magnitude of changing a person's life or changing a person's mind or opening them up to opportunities that they never thought would happen. I mean, even in these groups, there's networking opportunities for folks to find jobs, you know, and they might hear something from someone talking, and they'll say, "Oh, wait, you're into that, or you're interested in that, or you have a degree in this, and oh, let's get you know, let's get connected." And it just worked out perfectly. But never in a million years would I think that I would be in the middle of making change. You know, I never saw myself as that person. I feel like I'm a very humble guy. Yes, I've been maybe in front of the crowds, you know, in the band and performing and things like that, but nothing to the magnitude of changing someone's life.
And that's amazing. And, you know, it's funny, when we opened up for nominations, you were sent to us almost immediately by the person that referred you. And she had incredible things to say about you. And this is really a group for men, and specifically men of color. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
So,
We don't stray away from anyone else, but we focus on Black men because we know the communication lines are lacking.
yeah, and it's amazing. Let me ask you this, in the last minute or so that we have here, what are you hoping will happen with this group as it continues to grow and evolve?
That more change makers come out of it. I mean, we're seeing the enjoyment of life, and I think of all the guys that have been on the call and have, you know, given their time to it. We're seeing that they're spreading that love elsewhere, and we want that to continue to go not just locally, not just nationally. We want it to go global. You know, spread the love.
That's great, Preston. What again, let me give you just a couple more seconds to touch on your message. And what I mean by that is there are going to be people that feel inspired. And you already said one of the things that you hope from this is that more change makers emerge and find the strength to take action. But what advice would you have for someone that wants to do something, maybe doesn't feel like they can do exactly what you've done, but want to do something? What's your 15 seconds words of wisdom for them?
Just do it. It's really that simple. You may think that it's hard because you're thinking hard about it, but it's the simple things that make the difference. So just do it. Simple as that.
Awesome. Preston, how do people find you? How do they get in touch with you? How do they join the cafe? Share your information if you would.
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram at _ the morning sips, also on Facebook at morning sips. We are also, you can contact us through email at support@themorningsips.com. Or you can personally email me, Preston t.martin@hotmail.com. And we're revamping our website, so be on the lookout for that. But you follow us on all social media, you can get in contact with us.
Awesome. Preston, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on being in the inaugural class of the 2021 Changemakers. It's the first time we've done this as ReVitalize, and I couldn't think of somebody better to be a part of the program. So thanks so much.
I appreciate you all. Thank you.
All right, guys, we've got more Changemakers coming up here in just a minute. Stay tuned.